Hey everyone, so wanted to do a quick video on a couple things actually. I just recently got this Bakflip MX4 yesterday. Pretty much all the folding and all the tonneau covers are made by this company, Truck Hero, and each company that they're made for puts their own little spin on what they like, whether it's the Line X brand or Undercover brand. They're all made by this Truck Hero. So go to Truck Hero's website and take a look at all the different ones that they have, and then you can shop around from there based on what you see. But yeah, Truck Hero makes them all. So anyway, this is the MX4, and this is a review of the MX4. So I put this on yesterday and I'm pretty happy with it. It's actually the nicer of the ones that I reviewed before I finally bought this one. But wanted to go over a couple things that you guys might see during the install and kind of scratch your head, or even unpackaging. So first, this is a 21 Silverado short bed. So it's I believe it's 5'10", but the Bakflip, they make these for all the bed sizes. So just make sure you're ordering the right one. So the nice thing about this new MX4, the new style here, is that before, what I'm hearing is that you couldn't, you'd have to have the lid up in order for you to open and close the tailgate. Otherwise it would jack up the weather stripping or the seal. Now you can see here that this actually is not a problem. And I'll show you, I'll flip this up and show you what that looks like here in a sec. But just want to demonstrate what this looks like first. Yeah, see, not a problem. So now I'll open it and show you this new improvement from what I hear. It's this multi-layer. There's actually 3 fins inside here that are weather guards. So as the door comes in, it will slide across these, creating a nice tight seal. So it seems to do the trick. So you guys know how these work. There's a ton of install videos. They're all good. Even the one provided by the manufacturers, it's good. They're all pretty easy to install. What I wanted to talk about was just some of these quick little things that we see that I found. So these bolts here that actually bolt these to the rails, the packaging says it comes with one of these little black seal washers, and it's supposed to go on the underside, and then it has a flat washer, a lock washer, and then the hand nut. But turns out there were 2 of these rubber washers per side, so I just used common sense and put one at the top and one underneath, just as an added weather guard. So put those in. Seem to be doing just fine. Then let's see here, what else? This guy came with a tiny little baby dent, which you can't even see. I promise you it came with it, but it's like right here. Can't even really notice it, but, and then a little scratch right here, which, whatever. It took me probably about 2 hours to install it, only because I'm very particular about things such as reveal, which is this line all the way down being completely straight, and square with the cab, everything. I just double checked and triple checked everything to make sure that it was nice and straight all the way down. One of the other things I noticed, just heads up, is that this guy here, you can see that this weather stripping that attaches to the side rail, the factory side rail, is there's a gap between the weather stripping and this edge here, but only on this one side. But it looks like the rail will catch this, and the drain system will come into play there, that these have. So the other thing is where these bolts actually go in and get mounted from the underside, there's another rubber grommet on this square bottom plate. So these won't just actually slide right through. You're going to have to punch a hole, which the instructions don't tell you to, but it looks like they can be removed. I kept it in place, but because it looks like they used adhesive to put it in there, so I have to imagine they're supposed to be there. So punch a hole through it, make sure it's nice and straight through the middle, and then force this through, and it'll give you a nice tight seal all the way around. These were pretty easy to install. Just make sure that before you install these, put your Phillips screwdriver through the actual metal piece of this bracket all the way through, and clean out any of the sheet metal and foam insulation that's left over in the middle of it. I found that there was some of that debris in all 4 of these holes for both of these clips. So just make sure you clean it out first, otherwise you get all that junk inside of your, in between your threads when you're trying to put your screws in, and it's a pain in the butt. So one of the things that kind of bothered me about this, which I already fixed, but as you can see here, this thing is this came like this. This was installed yesterday, and this does not work. So what I did was I bought this 3M molding tape that I'm using instead, and all I did was I popped it off, and I'll demonstrate it in another video, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Just 1/2 inch 3M molding tape. You can just Google 1/2 inch 3M molding tape, and it comes in a small roll. You can pick it up. I picked it up at AutoZone. I'll put a link in the description for it. But basically, the existing adhesive that's on it, the existing adhesive tape that's on the bottom side of this, I just pulled this off, and it came right off within about 30 seconds, so not a big deal. And as any do-it-yourselfer says, knows, that ain't going anywhere. So yeah, that's my only beef with the whole thing. I also splurged and bought this Chevy net here, which helps kind of keep everything in place. What I found is that I hate stuff in the back rolling around the back seat when you're going just running errands. So this helps me keep everything in place. I also have a larger one for larger things that it's more of a cargo net than anything, to hold things in place, one end or the other. I just installed this here. It's the BedRug mat. This is pretty easy to install, and you can see we got a spray-on liner from the factory, and this goes in. It's really nice, actually. I'll show you. Flip this up here, quick. You can see these just push this wire down, and it just comes right up. So pretty easy, but you can see that this BedMat, this BedRug, actually does a pretty good job. It's pretty neat. It's actually smooth, so I don't really use this for a bunch of for hauling a bunch of stuff. It's mostly, I mean, I'm a truck guy. I like the truck, but I like to keep it clean also. And this is just a nice surface, soft pad for getting in there loading stuff, just the daily stuff. But if I'm gonna haul any type of lumber at all, or move some stuff that's gonna tear it up, the only thing that holds this in place is 2 Velcro strips, and you can see the 2 lines here, one here and one there, where they're actually sewn in place. And the bottom side of the strip is actually fastened with adhesive, or glued down with adhesive, with the 3M adhesive to the bed liner itself. So it comes with the an adhesive prep material, which isn't worth anything. It falls apart. It's a little foam pad, but I just used that, and best I could to wipe it on. Before that, I used alcohol to just clean the surface first. Yeah, as far as installing these guys here, I did the same thing. As you can see, right where it goes, it's just right up against this edge here and right up to this edge here. So I just took rubbing alcohol on a rag. Once I pulled off the adhesive, the old adhesive off of this guy on the bottom side, I just used alcohol, rubbed the bottom end of it, and then just took my finger in a rag and rubbed the top of the lid here, right where this is gonna go, all the way up and down a few times, let it dry, and then it just went right on, no problem. These pads here, this is a supplemental product that comes with it. I don't know if the other 3 small thinner pads probably are for a different body style of truck, where it's going to come in contact with the actual truck paint. But these here are supposed to be installed to prevent this lid from coming in contact with the actual glass. So it didn't have to use the smaller thin ones. I just used these larger blocks and works fine. So that's the video. Love my truck, love the bed. See how this goes up here, nice and easy. And yeah, go Giants.